Primal Scream's Martin Duffy reportedly died without a penny to his name after being cut out of a £5 million deal by his bandmates, an inquest has heard. Primal Scream rocker Martin Duffy died suddenly in December last year at the age of 55. The music legend fractured his skull in multiple places after a fall at his Brighton home, with the band's frontman Bobby Gillespie later announcing their soul brother's death. However, now, his son Louis, 19, has blasted Bobby and Primal Scream. As an inquest heard of how his final months were spent, the musician played keyboard for the massive British band, featuring on their debut 1987 album Sonic Flower Groove, and his work with the group was part of his identity for more than 30 years. But he was a functioning alcoholic, and Louis recalled how devastated his father had been when the band sent him home from a tour because of his drinking. He also claimed his father had no say when the band cut him out of a £5 million deal to sell part of Primal Scream's back catalogue. The 19-year-old told the inquest, "He wasn't consulted or even told about it. The band chose not to offer him the opportunity to get his share, at a time they knew he really needed financial help." Louis went on to tell the inquest that the band also stayed away when Martin revealed he had cancer. He claimed, "It was during lockdown when things started going wrong for Dad. No gigs meant no income and he got into debt. He was also diagnosed with prostate cancer during lockdown, and despite the band knowing this, they hardly made any contact with him during this very difficult time. I remember Dad telling Bobby on the phone that he was having to sign on for benefits to get by as he had no savings, but the band offered no support, either emotional or financial. I saw how much this upset him." The inquest heard how Martin was sent home from a tour after a gig in Glasgow as the band told him to get help with his drinking. Louis said, "After being forced off the tour, I literally saw Dad aged 10 years in a matter of weeks. He was simply not able to cope anymore. He was devastated." Louis said he found his dad bleeding from a fatal head wound at his home just before Christmas. Assistant Coroner Dr. Karen Henderson said Martin died after suffering multiple skull fractures.